As an engineering student, the most important thing I have learned is that people's safety is our first concern. And that is exactly what we have been doing down at the basement of this building. In a typical nuclear power plant, a reactor core is submerged in a pool of a pool of coolant. And the coolant is the material that transfers the heat from the reactor core to the power generation unit. And a coolant is also a barrier against the release of radioisotope into the environment when the core is damaged. As you can see on the left side of the slide, a core accident releases some of the radionuclides into the coolant, and in the worst case scenario, these radioisotopes could get released into the environment, and that is when actually it harms you and me. Now imagine a coolant that could absorb most or all of these radionuclides in the case of a nuclear reactor core accident. Then the nuclear power reactor would not seem as dangerous as it seems to be right now, right? We are investigating if molten lead could be such a coolant. On the right side of the slide, you see a quadrilateral shaped loop. From the melt tank here, we pressurize the molten lead into this loop, and this electromagnetic pump pushes the lead into a counterclockwise direction continuously. On the upper right corner, we have an expansion tank where we have other instrumentation as well as a gas chromatography to analyze the amount of different gases and to identify what kind of gases are there. The way we are going to do our research, we will be inserting some of the radioisotopes similar to ones here but non-radioactive, and we'll measure how much of those isotopes actually gets into this expansion tank, and using the gas chromatography we will measure the amount of it. The amount, the difference between the inserted amount and the measured amount here would tell us how much of those isotopes was retained in the molten lead. That would give us the idea if there is an accident in a lead-cooled fast reactor, how much of those released radionuclides could be retained in the molten lead. And that is our goal is, and NRC needs to know the radioisotope retention capability of molten lead to license a lead-cooled fast reactor. Thank you.
Shuprio, thank you. Tell us where you're from.
So I'm from Bangladesh, and I did my undergraduate from Socorro, New Mexico Tech.
So how do you find New Mexico from Bangladesh?
The people speak English here, which we don't in Bangladesh, of course. But yeah, it's the same thing like blue sky, yellow sun. But we have so much humidity in Bangladesh, but here it's like really fresh, and I like it a lot here.
What's one of the things you like best about Albuquerque?
Actually, the campus, I think, the UNM.
Great.
I really like it, and the Sandia pig.
Thank you so much, Shuprio.
You're welcome.